Greetings, Ben Murray here with another episode of SaaS Metric School. Today, we're talking, do you know your margins by revenue stream? This is so important to get this right to manage our SaaS business. So first, of course, we have to have COGS versus OPEX coding correct. I addressed that in another episode so we can accurately calculate our gross profit. And then that sets us up for success to then calculate margins by revenue stream, because this is so important because we then know where to focus in our business. If we have low overall gross profit, if we're not calculating margins by revenue stream, where do we focus? Is subscription revenue contributing to our business? Is transactional revenue, usage-based services? Maybe we have a point of sale system and hardware that we're selling as well. So we have to calculate margins by revenue stream if we have more than one revenue stream. Now, if you just have subscription revenue, that's it, then this is not really as applicable. But that is pretty rare, it seems like today, unless you're early stage, right? You're just starting out, maybe you just have subscription revenue. But then we have to progress. And as our revenue streams expand, we have to track those appropriately. So first, what is our gross margin? Well, that is purely revenue less COGS, or cost of goods sold. So that calculates our overall gross margin or gross profit. And then we have margins by revenue stream. So think about subscription revenue. So we have subscription revenue on our SaaS P&L, and then we look in our COGS area. And to calculate our subscription revenue margin, we're looking at subscription revenue less tech support, less customer success if they're just focused on product adoption and they don't sell, and less DevOps, and that's our subscription gross margin. Now, let's say we have some sort of variable revenue component, usage-based revenue, processing, or transaction revenue. Classic example I like to use is, say we have in-app messaging and we say we charge 10 cents per message that goes through our app, and we're using Twilio for that. We have a cost with Twilio. So now we've got to track our margins for our transactional revenue stream. And this all wraps up into our overall gross profit. But if we're not segmenting by revenue stream, we don't know where to focus if we need to improve our margins over time. So this is so important to set up correctly. And first, we have to have proper revenue coding. So we need to have clear and distinct revenue streams. Subscriptions, we need a variable revenue stream bucket. Say if we have transactional or usage-based revenue. If we have services, that's another revenue stream. If we have managed services, that's another. So again, proper revenue coding, clear and distinct revenue streams, and then proper COGS coding. If we have tech support, customer success, DevOps, services, the hard expenses for any sort of variable revenue streams. So our COGS setup is dictated by the types of revenue streams that we have. So then we can calculate margins by revenue stream. And of course, then finally, these margins that were calculated by revenue stream feed important SaaS metrics. Think CAC payback period. That's common to gross margin adjust that. We're going to need our recurring gross margin for that, not our overall gross profit, our overall gross margin. So it feeds downline metrics to make them as accurate as possible. So margins by revenue stream, really important to set up for your business if you have multiple revenue categories. So I hope you enjoyed this episode today. If you enjoy this content and find value in this content, I hope you rate me, and I hope it merits a 5-star. Thanks a lot.